When your cat licks your hand, your face, your hair, do you know what that actually is? Most people say the same thing. Aw, kisses. It's sweet, it's flattering, and it feels like the most obvious sign of love a cat can give. But here's what nobody tells you. Your cat isn't kissing you. Cats don't kiss. They've never kissed. That rough tongue dragging across your skin is doing something far more specific than showing affection. And if you've ever wondered why they lick you at certain times, in certain places, with that weird intensity that feels almost aggressive, there's a reason. We'll get to it in number 7, because there's one thing that happens in your cat's brain when they lick you that scientists only recently figured out, and it explains why your cat doesn't lick everyone, just you. Let's start with what almost everyone gets wrong. 1. Those aren't kisses. It's such a nice idea. Your cat is licking you because they love you. The internet is full of it. Cat kisses. My baby gives me kisses every morning. And look, the love part isn't wrong, but the kissing part is. Kissing is a human thing. Lips pressed to skin to say, I care about you. We do it with partners, children, friends. It's wired into our social behavior so deeply that we project it onto everything. Dogs licking, kisses. Cats licking, kisses. Your hamster nibbling your finger, tiny kisses. But here's the thing. When a cat licks another cat, it has nothing to do with romance or sweetness. It has a name, allogrooming, and it's one of the most selective, deliberate social behaviors in the entire feline world. Cats don't allogroom strangers. They don't do it with cats they merely tolerate. They do it exclusively with cats they consider family, inner circle, the few individuals they trust enough to let their guard down around. So when your cat licks you, they're not giving you a kiss. They're performing a ritual that in their species is reserved for the closest bonds they form. It looks like a kiss to you because you're translating cat into human, but what your cat is actually doing is much more serious than a kiss and much more personal. 2. They're making you smell right. Ever noticed that your cat licks you more intensely after you come home from work, or after you've showered, or after someone else has touched you? That timing isn't random. Cats live in a world organized by scent, not vaguely, precisely. Every cat in a bonded group carries what researchers call a colony odor, a shared scent profile built through days and weeks of rubbing, sleeping together, and grooming. This communal smell is how they identify who belongs and who doesn't. It's not a preference, it's a security system. Dr. Sharon Crowell-Davis, a veterinary behaviorist at the University of Georgia, studied allogrooming in domestic cats and found that the behavior spikes after one member of a bonded pair has been away or has come into contact with unfamiliar scents. The grooming isn't affection in that moment, it's maintenance. The shared scent got disrupted. Your cat is putting it back. When you walk through the door smelling like your office, your coworker's perfume, the sandwich you ate, the hand sanitizer from the bathroom, your cat's nose gets hit with a wall of wrong. You don't smell like you anymore. You don't smell like them. And that's a problem their body needs to fix immediately. So they lick, hard, focused, sometimes almost frantically. Not because they missed you, although they probably did, because you came back wrong. And they need to make you right again. Every lick is a correction, a restoration. Your cat rewriting your scent until you smell like home again. And hey, if this is making you see that nightly licking session differently, hit that like button and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more cat owners who want to understand what their cat is actually telling them. 3. The spot they choose tells you something. Your cat doesn't lick randomly. Watch where they focus, because the location says something specific. Hands and fingers. This is the most common. Your hands touch everything. Doorknobs, other people, food, your phone, other animals. They carry the most foreign scent of any part of your body. When your cat licks your hands, they're cleaning the dirtiest part of you. In scent terms, face and nose. This is intimate. In cat colonies, face-to-face grooming only happens between cats with the closest bonds. If your cat licks your face, you're not just family, you're inner circle, the cat equivalent of a best friend or a parent. They wouldn't put their face that close to yours unless they trusted you completely. Hair. This one confuses people. Your cat sits on the back of the couch and chews on your hair like it's the most fascinating thing in the world. The reason is texture. Your hair feels similar to fur, and your scalp carries concentrated scent from your skin oils. For your cat, grooming your hair is the closest thing to grooming another cat they can get. They're treating you like a real member of the colony. Same behavior, same technique, same spots they'd groom on a bonded cat. Ears, less common, but some cats fixate on earlobes. The skin there is thin, warm, and slightly salty. But more importantly, ear grooming is something mother cats do to kittens. If your cat licks your ears, there's a decent chance they've mentally categorized you somewhere between sibling and child. You're someone they feel responsible for. 4. That sandpaper tongue isn't built for cuddling. Here's the part that explains why cat licks hurt more than they should. Your cat's tongue is covered in tiny backward-facing hooks called papillae. They're made of keratin, the same material as their claws. Under a microscope, a cat's tongue looks like a field of miniature barbs. These hooks evolved for 2 reasons: stripping meat from bone and detangling fur. When a wild cat catches prey, their tongue works like a rasp, scraping tissue clean. When they groom themselves, those hooks pull out loose fur, dirt, and parasites with each stroke. Now put your arm under that tongue. Your skin isn't fur. It doesn't have the thickness or the layer of undercoat that distributes the pressure. Every lick hits your bare skin with hundreds of tiny hooks dragging in one direction. That's why it stings. That's why prolonged licking leaves your skin red and raw. Your cat doesn't know it hurts. Their tongue pressure is calibrated for cat fur, not human skin. They're grooming you with the exact same force they use on themselves. The problem isn't that they're being rough. The problem is that you're not built for the tool they're using. They're doing their best with the only equipment they have, and they have no idea it doesn't feel the same to you. 5. Sometimes they lick you because you taste interesting. Not everything is deep. Sometimes the answer is exactly what it looks like. Your skin has salt, especially after exercise, after a warm day, after you've been sleeping. Cats have a functional sense of taste, and salt registers strongly. If your cat licks your arm after a workout, there's a real chance they just like the flavor. Lotions, creams, and soaps can also trigger licking. Some ingredients in skincare products are appealing to cats. Others are actually dangerous. Anything with essential oils, tea tree oil, certain sunscreens, or medicated creams can be toxic if ingested through repeated licking. If your cat obsessively licks your skin after you've applied a product, check the ingredients. What tastes interesting to them could be quietly harmful. My cat goes after my hands every time I eat something with butter. Doesn't matter if I washed them twice. Apparently, the ghost of butter past is enough to warrant a full investigation. He holds my fingers down with his paw and licks each one individually, like he's at a restaurant. It would be adorable if his tongue didn't feel like fine grit sandpaper. The point is, not every lick is a love letter. Some of them are a food review, and knowing the difference matters, especially when the thing they're tasting could make them sick. 6. Stress licking looks different. Learn the difference. This is the one most owners miss, and it matters because the line between bonding and anxiety is thinner than you think. Normal allo grooming is relaxed, slow, rhythmic. Your cat's body is soft. Their eyes might be half closed. They lick for a few minutes, then stop. Maybe they settle down next to you afterward. The whole thing feels calm. Stress licking looks different. It's faster, more repetitive. Your cat's body is tense. Their ears might be slightly back. They lick the same spot over and over. They don't settle afterward. They might get up, pace, and come back to lick again. Sometimes they alternate between licking you and licking themselves excessively. This kind of licking is a self-soothing behavior. Something in their environment is causing anxiety, and the repetitive motion of grooming releases endorphins that temporarily calm their nervous system. When they direct it at you, they're reaching for their primary source of comfort, but the licking itself isn't affection. It's a coping mechanism wearing affection's clothes. Common triggers include a new pet, a moved piece of furniture, a schedule change, construction noise, a new person in the house, or the absence of a family member. The cat can't name the problem. They just feel it, and their body reaches for the one thing that usually helps: you. If your cat's licking has increased suddenly, or if it feels compulsive rather than relaxed, don't ignore it. Something in their world shifted. The licking is a symptom, not the issue. Find what changed, fix it if you can, and let the grooming return to what it was meant to be. 7. They lick you because you're theirs, and they need you to carry the proof. Here's what every point has been building toward. Your cat doesn't lick everyone. Think about that. They live in a house with other people, maybe other pets. Visitors come and go. Friends sit on the couch. Family stays for the weekend. Your cat doesn't lick any of them. Or if they do, it's a passing sniff and maybe one polite lick on the hand. Nothing like what they do to you. What they do to you is different, sustained, focused, repeated daily. They seek you out for it. They come to you at specific times. They hold your hand down with their paw and work on your fingers like it's a job. They lick your face while you're trying to sleep. They groom your hair while you're watching TV every single day. Researchers studying feline social bonding found that allo-grooming is the single most reliable indicator of bond strength between two cats. Not sleeping together, not playing together, grooming. Cats who groom each other have measurably lower cortisol levels and higher oxytocin levels than cats who merely coexist. The act of grooming another individual physically changes the brain chemistry of both parties, the one grooming and the one being groomed. Both feel safer, both feel calmer, both feel more connected, and the bond gets chemically reinforced every time it happens. That's what's happening every time your cat pins your hand and drags their sandpaper tongue across your knuckles. It's not a quirk. It's not a habit. It's your cat physically rewriting their own brain chemistry to include you as family. Every single lick deposits their scent, absorbs yours, and triggers a chemical response that tells their entire nervous system, this one belongs with me. Your cat doesn't lick you because you taste good. They don't lick you because they're bored or because they don't know what else to do with their mouth. They lick you because in the world of cats, grooming someone is the most sacred thing you can do. It's reserved for the ones you'd protect, the ones you'd sleep beside, the ones you'd follow anywhere. And every time that rough little tongue drags across your skin, your cat is writing something onto your body that no shower can wash off. You are mine. You smell like me. And as long as I'm alive, I'll make sure you always do.